Hey everyone, welcome back. It is BlockRoots, your knowledge source for the crypto market, and I am your host, Josh. As a reminder, all the information in this video is for educational and entertainment only. This content is not financial advice, and so don't take it as that. Do your own research. As a reminder as well, follow me on Twitter. Would love to have you as a follower. I am very active on the Twitter community. I do love discussing cryptocurrency, blockchain in the market there. So follow me at Josh_Rager. You can also click like and subscribe for this YouTube channel so you can get updates on any new YouTube videos that are put out on crypto and Bitcoin. And so let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the current market. So the current market chart zoomed out, and I did this on purpose because today's video, the whole purpose is not to look at the price action right now with Bitcoin. I have put out plenty of videos on that. You can also see my daily, weekly insight on that as well on Twitter. But what I want to talk to you about is just the overall picture and how this correlates with the US dollar. Now, some people may know about this. Many people actually do not know about this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Since 2015 actually, but definitely 2017, we've had this uptrend with higher lows all the way up to the all-time high. And ever since, December and January, this double top here, we've, dropped down, capitulated for the most part, and have been going sideways for the past month. If you want to take a look at an inverse chart, a perfect chart would be the US dollar. And so if you compare the two from 2017 all the way to now, do you notice the inverse correlation? And so the quite opposite with the US dollar starting in 2017, it dropped and it hit its low right around alt season in January. So you had also December. It definitely dropped hard with the all-time high. It continued to drop hard as Bitcoin bounced back and alt season happened. And then since February, March, a little sideways, and it's been an uptrend ever since. It may look somewhat bearish here with this pullback, but if you look at technical analysis, you want to make sure that we're continuing to hit higher lows. And so if you look on the chart, you do notice higher lows. Even if this pulls back even more, it is considered to be a higher low in a higher high. That's still bullish for the US dollar. We do expect the US dollar to kind of push up somewhat more in the next couple of months. And so with that said, what's the picture look like for Bitcoin? What I've done here is I've taken the two charts and I've made a weekly chart out of it. And so I've even put in the arrows here as well, too, that you can see. So the top is Bitcoin, the bottom is the US dollar from 2017 all the way to the present state right here. You can notice that on the weekly chart, definitely a downtrend all the way to January, a little sideways there, and an uptrend ever since. Same thing with Bitcoin, but the inverse correlation here is that it's been going up in December, January, and it dropped down just like how the dollar moved up. Now, I've also taken the monthly chart, and so if you notice, this is a little better view as you continue to zoom out more from 2017 to 2018, December, January 2018, huge uptrend. And of course, the US dollar, it's, and I'll laugh because the percentage of change has not been as much, but of course with the US dollar, it's supposed to be stable because it's a fiat currency. With Bitcoin is quite a bit volatile, and so volatile in a good way for the fact that it's volatile against the dollar, which is stable, but it's volatile typically on a long-term uptrend, because if you again zoom out and look at the volatility, we've just moved up, especially compared to the dollar, right? The dollar stays close to $1, a little less, a little more. But Bitcoin, of course, has moved from, under $100 up to 20,000. So not a bad thing. Volatility is actually a good thing when it comes to upwards volatility. But if you do look at the monthly chart, you're going to notice the downtrend since December and January, as you know, and then the exact opposite as far as the US dollar. And so what does this mean? Well, we know that if the US dollar is supposed to continue to be strong for the next couple of months, that's not necessarily a good thing for Bitcoin. I mean, the technical analysis shows that the US dollar has hit higher highs and higher lows, and we're having a slight retracement now at this time, but doesn't mean that the dollar is not going to continue to push up as expected, as it should. And so what I foresee is that if the US dollar does tend to peak out around December, that's when we could actually see Bitcoin hit its low. So, going along with it, not going along with my bias. Of course, people talk about my bear bias. I don't want to be bearish. I own Bitcoin, I own altcoins, and I want to be bullish. In long term, I am bullish, but I can't help to try to be as practical and realistic as possible, looking at the overall data and technical analysis and fundamentals of different markets, specifically with the US dollar, because we know that majority of these people who are going to buy Bitcoin are going to buy it with dollar bills. With the stocks pushing back or pulling back as much as they are, again, people aren't going to necessarily just rush into cryptocurrency right now at this single moment. We'll want to see a little bit more stability in the stock market, in my opinion. But you can't help but to just recognize this direct inverse correlation between the US dollar and Bitcoin. And so what I'm going to encourage you to do is pay attention to the US dollar charts. That's because Bitcoin, I feel like, would react more to the dollar. The dollar's not going to react to Bitcoin. The dollar bill is not going to go down just because Bitcoin's going up. I mean, that's not how it works. If anything, Bitcoin is going to go up when the US dollar goes down. So you can actually look up the DXY chart. You can put that in your Google search into TradingView and open that up and just kind of pay attention to the US dollar. See what it's doing. Pay attention to that. It is important to try to look globally at all these asset classes and not just pay attention to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the ruler of crypto. It's the king. It's the queen. But you have to understand fiat is still dominant when it comes to money in the world. You're rich because you're fiat rich. You're not rich because you have a lot of Bitcoin. In the end, you sell your Bitcoin to get more fiat. And so don't necessarily think that Bitcoin is going to take over the fiat system anytime soon. That would probably take, honestly, 10, 20 years from now, if not more. Yeah, so with that said, again, I'm Josh. This has been BlockRoots. Hope that this content has been helpful. Please feel free to give me a like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at Josh_Rager. Hope that you guys have a great evening.